All right, Dana White's Contender Series Week 3 takes place on Tuesday, and we'll start off predicting the card with Darion Abbey versus Donte Johnson. I'll let you start with this one.
Well, obviously, Abbey is an absolutely unit. He's 6'6" compared to Johnson's only 6 foot. But saying that, I am going to pick Johnson. I think it's a bit dangerous, a bit more dangerous than Abbey. Well, no, both are very dangerous. This is not going the distance, to be honest. I don't think Abbey's never lost by decision, but I think he's going to get knocked out here anyway, because he has been knocked out many times in his career. 3 times out of his 4 losses has been knocked out. He's a chinny boy, and Johnson, he's a man with very good knockout power. He's won all 5 of his fights professionally by finish in the first, and I just don't see Abbey being the guy to stop that. Maybe he lands a perfect punch and he knocks Johnson out, but I don't see it. I'm picking Johnson by first round finish here.
Yeah, well, I am off with Abbey here, who on Topology predictions only has 10% of people going with him. And I can see why, but I just don't think you can be 6 foot at heavyweight against someone who's 6'6". I think that's a horrible career move, moving up to heavyweight for Donte Johnson. I could understand if he was taller, but at 6 foot, I'd expect to be at like welterweight or middleweight. Looking heavyweight's a big jump up to be a 6 foot man, so I just don't think it's a good play for me. He has a lot of knockouts in his career. He's not the greatest wrestler, and I think Darion Abbey's just, how I see this fight, I just think he's going to be a stronger guy, and I think he's just going to lay on him 3 rounds. He won't get a contract, but that's how I just see this fight going. I think Darion Abbey will
He's only
win
ever one decision in his career, I believe. So.
But I think stylistically here, it's great for him. He might get a ground and pound TKO. That is possible here. But I think it will be a very boring, like, hold against the cage, kind of just lay on top of him kind of performance from Darion Abbey. I think he'll get the win here. So, we are against each other on this one. Go on to the next one, though. Cristian Pérez versus Manoel Sousa. Now, Manoel Sousa does have his only loss coming to Márcio Huffy. But I'm not going to... I am picking him to win here.
Sousa's the only man to beat Ruffy, actually, I think.
Oh, no, he is, isn't he? Yeah. No, I'm wrong in saying that, yeah. That's when I said that, I was like, I can't be picking him for that. Well, no, he literally has a win over Ruffy, so
yeah,
that's a big thing. And he has fought a lot of decent comp as well. Cristian Pérez definitely has a solid chance in this fight to win. But I am for Manoel Sousa because I do just think he's a more well-rounded fighter. I think he's better. I would argue better everywhere, to be honest. But, yeah. I just think he's a more technical fighter, and I think he'll win this fight by finish. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's just a bit more proven, right? I think Pérez, that's nothing on him. It's not his fault, really. But his one loss was against, not very good comp, to be honest. His one loss is much worse than Manoel Sousa's one loss. And Sousa's one loss comes to Archie Colgan. Now, it was only 2 fights ago, but Colgan, he's 12-0. And, he's been signed by the PFL, and he's already got a win in there. A very good win over Mansour Baranui as well. So he's facing JJ Wilson next. I think he'll win that as well, Archie Colgan. So I don't mind Sousa's one loss. I do mind Perez's one loss. So for that reason, I am picking Sousa. And like you said, I just do think he's a better fighter technically. I think he can get it done by decision or finish here. But if I had to guess, I'd hope he gets a finish, considering it is the Contender Series and he wants to get a contract. But neither fighters have never been finished, I don't think, so could be a tricky one, but I'm going to pick Sousa here.
Yeah, I just think it's in the story as well for him to get in the UFC and try get that Ruffy rematch going. So, on to the next fight. We've got Alik Lorenz versus Abdulrakhman Yakhyaev. I'll let you start with this one.
Yeah, I mean, give me Yakhyaev, right? Give me Yakhyaev all day here, because, well, first of all, I've done the eye test. Alright, the eye test tells me Yakhyaev is going to win this fight. Second of all, he is an undefeated fighter. We know Lorenz is ceiling. And I don't really love his one loss either, Lorenz. Don't love it at all. I think Yakhyaev's stronger. And, Lorenz's one loss actually comes to Abbey, who you're picking in the first fight, right? So, yeah, I don't love that loss for Lorenz. I really don't. And Yakhyaev, he's an undefeated fighter with a much higher ceiling than Lorenz, so I'm definitely going to pick him. I'm going to pick him by finish. That's the way I see it going.
Yeah, I think Yakhyaev gets us done in the first round, and Lorenz is just shit. To be honest, he's just shit, and
Yeah, I agree.
he's put together a decent little streak, 5-win streak, I think it is, but it doesn't impress me whatsoever. I think the competition he's facing is horror, and I just think Yakhyaev will put him away in the first round, and Lorenz does look like that guy, the ginger with the intent to injure. I'm not putting my faith in him tonight. So.
Yeah, he actually does.
Yeah, he's not for me. Yakhyaev by first round knockout. Go on to the next fight. Márcio Barbosa versus Damon Wilson. I'll let you start with this one.
An interesting fight, for sure. But I don't see a world where Wilson wins. As much as I do say it's an interesting fight, I think Barbosa... If I had to be specific with it, I think Barbosa gets a first-round knockout. Look, Barbosa, of course, he has some questionable losses, same with Wilson, but Barbosa, at the end of the day, is coming off 3 first-round knockouts, and the competition Barbosa faces is much higher than the competition that Wilson's been facing. So I think Barbosa is just going to be too dangerous for Wilson. Wilson lost a much worse comp than Barbosa pretty easily. So I think Barbosa will... I say first round knockout. I just think he's going to find a knockout at some point anyway. Either way, he's going to get a contract and he's going to be signed because I think he's going to do it in fashion. So give me Barbosa all day.
Yeah, no, Barbosa is just better everywhere again than Damon Wilson. Damon Wilson's he's only here. A lot of these guys on the contender are only here because they're American and they're easy to just get on the show to lose basically. So yeah, I do think Barbosa will win this easily. Better technical fight every single martial art he has, so yeah, and he's more experienced, a lot more experienced than Damon Wilson, so I'm taking Barbosa by finish within the first round again, I believe. So we'll go on to the main event.
Same as me.
Of this card. Ryan Gandra versus Trent Miller. I'm gonna let you start with this one.
It's an interesting fight, but it's a fight that didn't need that much research. Well, I looked into it, and I think there's an obvious answer here. I think Gandra does get the win. I really don't like Miller's losses. I really don't. And both of his losses in his career come by sub, something that Gandra has. So it looks like to me that Miller has no grappling, really, right? He's there to be subbed. Gandra is a Brazilian man with a few subs of his own. I think he could even knock out Miller here, to be honest. So I think there's more past the victory for Grande, and I think he's just a better fighter everywhere. I don't know where the fight could take place and Miller can win. So I think Gandra is a better fighter than Miller everywhere. He's just better, literally just a better fighter. So give me Gandra a whole day. I'm going to say by finish, probably by sub.
Yeah, Gandra... It's another one where they brought in some American can that's on a little 2-fight win streak and they're feeding to someone to get a finish to get in the UFC. So I don't really like it as a matchup, but yeah, Gandra should win this very easily. And the majority of this card is just Americans getting fed to these other guys just to get finished, basically.
No, it is.
The only two interesting fights is the first fight and then also the Cristian Pérez versus Sousa fight. Apart from them, the first 2 fights of the card, it should be pretty easy wins for the foreigners. So,
what do you think fight of the night will be?
Fight of the night, I reckon the second fight. I reckon Cristian Pérez.
I think so
Sousa.
too. It's probably the one I'm most excited for. I think it's
most skilled fight on the card for sure. So
yeah, I think if Sousa gets it done, obviously the story is there, isn't it? So
yeah, 100%.
It will be interesting to see if he gets it done.
100%. But yeah, that's about it.